litigation is a very inefficient and very expensive method of resolving disputes. So if you can get the parties to agree to an imperfect compromise early on, before they've spent tremendous sums of money, everyone is probably much better off. And so I think I developed some skills in group process and realized that, particularly in government, the worst thing in government is doing nothing. If you can get a project and it's only 80% right, that's good. You move forward. If you can get 5 people to agree, it's fantastic. So the group process worked well for me, and I enjoyed it. And I realized that if you're going to be successful in a group process, nobody gets everything.
Yeah. What do you see as the biggest problems facing Beverly Hills today?
Well, it's the same thing that is facing, I think, every other city and county in our state, is that there are insufficient financial resources to maintain the current level of service. And the primary reason for that is that because of the structure of the system, expenses are going up faster than income. And with the downturn in the economy, that's just accelerated that problem. You have one example, and it's being changed throughout all cities, counties in the state. You have a pension system which was believed at one point in time to sustain a growth rate of well over 7%. Well, if you look at historical growth rates over 20, 30, 40 years, that just doesn't happen. And now it's not happened, but the cities have contractually agreed to pay those kinds of rates. So you have to structurally change the system. The second major problem you have is that you've tied the hands of those that are elected to govern. City council cannot raise a tax. You've got to put it on the ballot. It's a terrible way to govern.
Yeah. What is your outlook for California? Are you hopeful? Are you pessimistic?
No, I'm frankly quite hopeful. I think we've got some major problems, and the only advantage of having really major problems is that I think everyone now recognizes there are major problems, and there's going to have to be some very hard decisions made. And those decisions are going to basically be raising taxes and cutting programs and fixing things like the pension system, because otherwise we're just not going to function.
Do you think Los Angeles is going to go bankrupt in the next 3 or 4 years, or do you think they'll pull its act together?
Well, I think legally they have to pull its act together. I don't think they have a choice. So they're up against the same thing as the state is, which is very substantial cuts in service, new fees. I won't say taxes because, again, as I said, city councils are not allowed to pass taxes. You've got to go to a vote of the people. But you can adopt fee structures to cover the cost of delivery of services. So you're going to have increased fees. You're going to have decrease in program and services. And hopefully the economy will turn around, which will create added income through your business license fee, development fees, and other types of income that cities rely on. But certainly the city of LA has a much, much, much more serious problem than, say, Beverly Hills. And we're feeling it.
Would you like to see a subway running to or through Beverly Hills? I
worked on that subcommittee. I was co-chair. I am a big fan of the subway. It's a great idea, and I love the 30-10 plan of having it in place in 10 years because I might get a chance to write it then. 30 years I won't be here.
What do you love and hate about your practice of law today?
Well, actually, the wonderful thing about getting to my age is that I don't do anything I hate, so I'm really enjoying it. My practice is primarily a land use practice and estate planning, and I get to work on things where, if they're successful, at the end of the day, there's something there for people to feel, touch, use, and so I'm really enjoying what I'm doing.
What makes you angry, if anything, about the the legal system as you experience it firsthand?
It's much too expensive. We have a legal system that is designed to try to achieve, quote, as great a level of justice as possible, which is a wonderful goal, but it's extremely expensive. So unless you are very rich or very poor, the cost of engaging in a legal process is extremely difficult to sustain for most people.
Would you like to see loser pays?
That's basically the British system, where the prevailing party, as a matter of right, recovers attorneys' fees and costs. Our system basically is that everyone bears their own attorney's fees and costs unless there's a written contract or statute to the contrary. I think having more cases where the prevailing party wins will cut down on litigation and costs, yes. So I think it's the right direction to go. Raises the risks.
Okay, great. Hang on one sec.